Don't look at entrepreneurship in a mechanical sense. Entrepreneurship is not about making money. The big visions need humble beginnings. What I try to do is to teach principles that will make you a success as an entrepreneur, irrespective of the conditions.
Hello, High Risers. So I create these videos because I know as an entrepreneur, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to build something from the ground up. And so I hope you'll draw motivation and inspiration by studying and learning from entrepreneurs who have walked this journey and succeeded. Today, we'll be diving into the story and wisdom of Strive Masiyiwa. Born in Zimbabwe, Strive is a businessman and philanthropist who founded Econet Wireless, one of the largest telecommunications companies in Africa. Despite facing numerous obstacles over the years, he persevered to build a billion-dollar global business empire and become one of Africa's most influential business leaders. Through his remarkable journey, Strive has gained invaluable insights into entrepreneurship, leadership, and achieving success against the odds. In this video, we'll explore his top 8 success tips for succeeding as an entrepreneur. Number 1, big visions need humble beginnings.
The big visions need humble beginnings. If your vision is such that it is so big that you can't start, then you never will start. There is nothing that you cannot do from here. There's nothing we cannot do to build this continent. There's nothing. We have the people, we have the resources. We don't have much. It's true. As I wrote the other week, I said, in Africa it sometimes seems like we don't have enough of anything. We don't have enough schools, we don't have enough teachers, we don't have enough doctors, we don't have enough whatever, we don't have enough food. But not having enough does not mean we have nothing. We have enough to get going.
Number 2, develop an entrepreneurial mindset.
Don't look at entrepreneurship in a mechanical sense. Entrepreneurship is not about making money. It's a way of thinking towards solving problems, whether it's in social impact or for-profit ventures or sustainability. So we need an entrepreneurial mindset now, because we look at our universities. We are producing graduates, but they don't have jobs. And yet, if you got one of those graduates and said, sit down, can you draw me a business plan? The universities didn't train them that. They didn't train them how to set up, run a business in the laws of their own country. They can't even register for tax. They don't know the labor laws. Because they were trained to go out and work for somebody. They were not trained in the mindset that says, you are the guy who's going to create the job. Okay, so I was recently in Israel looking at the whole startup nation philosophy, because the philosophy in Israel. And I was fascinated. High school students setting up companies in school, hiring their colleagues. By the time they're leaving high school, they know exactly how to set up a company under Israeli law. Why shouldn't that happen in Nigeria? But you get entrepreneurs in Africa who've been at it for 10 years and they still haven't been persuaded they should be paying tax. So how do we run countries? So there is, entrepreneurship is an established pathway in Africa. It's not new. Africa survives on entrepreneurship. But it's about how do we recognize it, nurture it, and take it to the next level that will produce the enterprises that enable us to compete. We don't want to be the consumers of Google and Alibaba and Apple and Facebook. We want our own. That's not to say we don't want those to be there, but we want a generation of entrepreneurs, particularly at the elite level like you guys, to leave this kind of place saying, if Mark could do it, I can and should be able to do it.
Number 3, expand into new markets.
I come from a relatively small country in Africa. And one of the things that I learned very early on, as my business began to thrive, was that if I was going to get bigger, I needed to go to Africa. Sometimes when you come from big countries like Nigeria or South Africa, you've got such a big market at your feet that you don't think of the need to go to the rest of Africa. Whereas when you come from a small country like a Zimbabwe or Rwanda, you're conscious of Africa because you need to go into a bigger market.
Number 4, face the challenges.
It's one of my challenges when I'm advising young entrepreneurs from different African countries, because there are different types of governments, there are different situations on the ground, and how do I advise someone from Togo and someone in South Africa, Zimbabwe or Zambia? Because I can't be. So what I try to do is to teach principles that will make you a success as an entrepreneur, irrespective of the conditions. And one of my mantras is to say the entrepreneur must train like a soldier. We fight in the conditions, not the conditions. Because we really can't wake up in the morning and say, today it's raining, I'm not fighting. So the challenges are there. But the thing is, Africa is full of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is alive and well in Africa. It is just building the support systems to ensure that these ventures can grow and scale. So I hope that as some of you get skills from here, you can take them home to be able to help others to scale.
Number 5, hire entrepreneurs.
Things I realized as we built this platform was that you need to hire entrepreneurs, which was a surprise because you think entrepreneurs are there to start businesses. Steve Jobs is dead, so who gave us the iWatch? If it's all done by the entrepreneur who started the business. No, everybody must be an entrepreneur. We need an entrepreneurial revolution on this continent. And it starts with you.
Number 6, get the product right.
You gotta get the product right. But the thing with the product is, it's like the old generals say, that they tell you that a battle plan is only as good as your first contact with the enemy. We say a business plan is only as good as your first contact with a customer. Okay, you might have great ideas, okay, but until you get to the person who's going to buy this product, pay you for this product, because there's also a lot of products that people like that they're not willing to pay for, by the way, okay, and people have developed business models even to cope with that. WhatsApp functions as a business in which the consumer of the product doesn't pay for it, but someone else does. Facebook does it. Now you've discovered it was global surveillance. So someone else is paying in the background. So you've got to get the product right.
Number 7, build your entrepreneurial networks.
So it's important to have friends and partners around you that believe in what you're doing. Reach out for those people, because it's going to be lonely, it's going to be tough. I make a joke of the fact that my wife was the one, but you've got to have real friends and partners out there, okay? And it's also important to create, that's why it's important to create networks of entrepreneurs. You know, you guys, I wish I was your age. The kind of technology you have, here we are in a conversation of Africans reaching out across Africa, talking to each other. And sometimes I marvel when I see a comment and I see a string of comments going on in a little group of people around something, sometimes having an argument about what I meant, and I keep quiet. Believe you me, that excites me. You got to build your own networks of entrepreneurs. You've got to be talking to each other. You've got to know what others are going through. You see, these associations you see, Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, or, you know, Zimbabwe Trade, you know what? They were started by entrepreneurs just like you when they were young. They didn't come out of Noah's Ark, so make your own, okay? Build your own networks where you strengthen each other, where you reinforce each other, where you're exchanging ideas with peer groups. Because sometimes it's one thing to know what Dangote does, but it may be more relevant to know what your neighbor did who's in exactly the same situation as yourself.
Number 8, see the opportunities.
In the last 25 years, our GDP has gone up from 350 billion to 3 trillion. We're one of the fastest expanding regions in the world. Only China expanded faster than us in that period. Okay? Do you see that, Africa? Yes, we have a lot of challenges. Who doesn't? Europe has a war in the middle of Europe right now, you know. So we all have challenges, okay? And each generation has to address and take on those challenges. But Africa also has extraordinary opportunities. So I talk to these young people about reminding them that the glass is really, in their case, not even half full, but 3/4 full.
Thank you for watching. If you found value in this content, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content that will keep you motivated on your path to success. Until next time, keep rising higher.